In this lesson, you're going to learn how you can set up conversion tracking with the help of Google Tag Manager and how to utilize custom HTML tags. All and more coming up right after this. Hi there, and welcome to another video of MeasureSchool.com, where we teach you the data-driven way of digital marketing. My name is Julian, and in the last lesson we already talked about how we can track interactions with the help of Google Tag Manager. Now in this lesson we're going to talk about interactions again, but this time about the most important interaction that your user can take on your website, which are your conversions. And we are going to take a look on how we can transfer that data over to a marketing vendor that is not Google in order to track our conversions in a third-party tracking tool. And this is very important if you do any kind of paid advertising to your website. Now, before we get started, if you want to test your knowledge after this video, you can head over to measureschool.com/lesson6, where we have a little bit of a challenge prepared for you. And you can test if you understood everything and put your knowledge into actual action. So you'll be able how good of a Google Tag Manager implementer you really are. But we still got lots to cover, so let's get started. Alright, in this video we're going to talk about conversion tracking, which begs the question, what are actual conversions? Well, conversions are really what you define them to be, but in a broader sense they represent success on your website. If the user was able to accomplish the goal that you set out for him to do on your website, then he is counted as converted and generated a conversion on your website. And this can come in many different forms, and it really depends on your business. Whether you're an e-commerce shop, you might want to count a purchase as a conversion. If you are a lead generation website that wants the user to fill out a form, you might want to count the form submit as a conversion. But other websites might be more individual in terms of what they define as a conversion. And it might just be an action that is an important milestone for them to take on the website, such as started a project, or in the case of a search engine like google.com, it would be a simple search action that would be counted as a conversion. Now, why are these conversions important? Well, if you think about any kind of paid advertising that you do on a publisher website, such as facebook.com, and you pay on a click basis for somebody to visit your website, you might want to know whether this click led to an actual conversion. And if it does, we should report that data back to the marketing vendor so he can display this data in the ad interface and make it easier for you to optimize your campaign based on the interactions that actually led to a conversion on your website. And that's why basically every marketing vendor has some kind of conversion tracking mechanism to be able to attribute the clicks that came from the website with whatever success looks like on your website. So let's take a look on how to install such conversion tracking on our demo shop. Now back at our demo shop, in our last lesson we learned how to track this add to cart click, and the question would be here, what if we wanted to send this data over to a marketing vendor just like Facebook? Well, luckily we already configured our trigger to fire on this add to cart click. So all we need to do is basically transfer that information over to our marketing vendor. In our case, I will go with Facebook here, and Facebook has a simple conversion tracking mechanism. So if you log into your Facebook ads account, you'll be able to see under your assets the different pixels that are available for your site. And under this button, you can see that we can create a conversion, and we'll do this with the standard events feature. So if we click on this, we'll get a little bit of an animation. We basically want to track the add to cart click, and we need to place that within the Facebook pixel on our HTML code. Now in our case, we would do this through Google Tag Manager. So where would we find this Facebook pixel? Let's go back here. Under Actions, we can actually view our pixel. Here we have the pixel code that needs to be implemented in the head section, and we will do this through Google Tag Manager. So we can basically copy our pixel code here, go over to Google Tag Manager and click on New Tag. This will be a Facebook conversion tag, which will fire on the Add to Cart button. Now we go to the tag configuration and we scroll down the list. And we see, unfortunately, there is no Facebook available yet within our tag templates. That might change over time, so keep a lookout for this. But there is an option that we can always choose, which is the custom HTML option, where we can simply enter our HTML and JavaScript that we want to implement. So let's paste that in here. And we have our Facebook pixel in this little editor. We need to understand a little bit of JavaScript in order to customize this, because we don't want to, in this case, track a page view, but track our add to cart. And as we have seen before under create conversion, we can add a special kind of code here, which will signal the add to cart. This is right down here. So all we need to do is take that event code and copy it, go over to Google Tag Manager, and let's replace our page view here with our add to cart click. So now we have configured our tag and just need to choose a trigger. Luckily, we are able with Google Tag Manager to reuse any kind of assets, triggers, variables, or other code snippets that we have already prepared beforehand in the tool. So we can choose our click trigger here and save this tag. Let's try this all out. Go into the preview and debug mode. Go over to our page. Let's reload this page. And click on our add to cart button. I'll do this with the command key pressed in order to open it up in a new tab. And when we click on our event, we see that our Facebook conversion tag has fired correctly. Now, luckily, Facebook also has an extension for Google Chrome, which is the Facebook Pixel Helper. And we can see that we got a message here saying that the Facebook pixel loaded successfully. And if we look into the event log, we see that the event ID was add to cart, as we configured it in the code, and this data was sent over to Facebook as well. So we have successfully configured a conversion tag with the help of Google Tag Manager. So all we need to do now is, again, go into Google Tag Manager and publish this as a version to all our users. So now you know how to track your conversions with the help of Google Tag Manager and transfer them to a third-party tracking tool, which is non-Google, with the help of custom HTML tags. If you want to test your knowledge after this video, then head over to measureschool.com/lesson6, where we have a little bit of a challenge prepared for you. And if you go through all these challenges that we had already in the videos and submit them to us, we'll give you a little bit of an extra at the end of this course. If you like this video, then join me at the next video, where we're going to wrap this whole thing up, and I'm going to give you some more resources to deepen your knowledge in Google Tag Manager and send you on your way to doing more Google Tag Manager implementations. My name is Julian. Till next time.